I hope this isn't too out of context, but I've been wondering about this ever since I was a child, I guess. And I'm a little out of breath here. And I want to take advantage of your broader perspective. Why is it that we're here? And when I've asked that in other circumstances, and I've read about this and I agree with it and I believe it, we're here to expand, we're here to feel joy. But that to me really answers what we're here to do. But why we're here? Why is there Abraham? Why is there me? Why is there a universe? Why couldn't just there be nothing? But when I think that, I catch myself, but there's got to be something. But it's like a vicious circle. There's no real, I can't really find an answer. And I've wondered about this, and I wasn't sure if I should ask this question because it's a bit out of context in a way, but to me it was important to find an answer because I believe that knowing the answer to that will help me, that deeper perspective will hopefully help me be a master at entering the vortex and getting really good at it, I guess.
Well, you don't have to justify why you want to know something. And it's interesting, as we listened to you, it was a very good trek you took us on, really, ending up with, if I could know the answer to this question, it would take me into the vortex where I would feel complete, where I would feel joy. And we say, which is the answer to the question. There is this, let's see if we can find a starting place, because if there's ever been a forum, an Abraham forum, that was conducive to at least reaching into a new place on a question like this one would be the one. Because we're already hanging out there in the outer reaches of creation. So we're going to rephrase your question just a little bit. Makes it easier for us to answer it. Why do we exist? Or why does anything exist? And you've already told us that you're not really satisfied with the answer for the joy of it, which puts us at a disadvantage in reaching for something that you will like. Because all existence and expansion is predicated upon the selfish quest for joyful improvement. In other words, if you ever want to understand how the world works or the universe works or the cosmic universe or anything that is bigger than you see yourself, all you have to do is find some piece of what you are living and figure something out, and you can apply it to everything. So as you stand in your poignant now and you acknowledge that in any or every moment in time there is born within you a newly improved idea of what could be a little better. This conversation could be better. This moment in time could be better in this way. In other words, it's just this innate reaching. So then you want to go back deeper. It's sort of like, well, who created the world? And people say, well, God. Well, who created God? And then people don't know where to go with that. And sometimes our physical friends are sending questions to us that are a bit like that. They'll say, well, what created this environment? And we say thought. And they'll say, well, who thought that thought? And we say, well, there were thinkers thinking thoughts even before this environment that you, as Earth, or even this universe that you are beginning to explore and understand and discover, there was thought that preceded all of that. And manifestation is just thought that has been thought upon longer. But it always brings us back into that circular question, but what was first? And
or why even? Because I'm why? That's my question. What's the benefit? Not that there isn't one. I'm not questioning that.
We're pleased that you have broadened your question a little more to include that, because that part is very easy for us to define, and we touched on it a bit earlier. The exhilaration that is felt when you are focused in physical form, and life has caused you to vibrationally reach for a place that is new and so far unknown to you because it has not been manifested, at least in your experience. But the larger part of you has experienced the the quest and the accomplishment of the creation vibrationally even before it is manifested. So there is this innate calling that is there, that when you satisfy it by finding vibrational alignment with it, there is no greater satisfaction. In other words, when things just happen and you are unaware of it, sort of creating by default, there's no thrill in that. But when the contrast that you're living causes a focused desire to be born within you, and you have the exhilarating experience of recognizing that a desire is born within you that you're not up to speed with, and then you actually deliberately apply your ability to focus and pay attention to the way you feel and notice that relief is coming until you feel yourself vibrationally click into place. And then you have the conscious awareness of watching the laws of the universe actualize all around you in order to give you what you want. Life just can't get any better than that. The question that you're asking is sort of a question that you might ask of a painter. Why do you paint a painting when we've got plenty of them already? Why do you sculpt another sculpture when there are plenty of them already? Why do you make another dollar when there are enough of them already? Why is there any more that you seek? And the question is so interesting to us because the mantra from non-physical is more expansion, more love, more exhilaration, more clarity, more opportunity, more adventure, more exposure to life, more love, more living, more fun, more conversation. There is nothing in all of the universe more satisfying to us, non-physically speaking, than conversations like we've had here today, where we have together taken thought not just beyond what you have known in your physical form before, beyond that which has been before. Your life experiences and what you have been living have caused asking and your willingness to play with us. It is incredible to watch you in your patience, willing to allow us all to pick forward this new adventure, this new frontier, carving out this new understanding. And when you say why, we say because it is so fun, because it is so satisfying, because it is the nature of a creator to create. And when creators create deliberately, the satisfaction is beyond description. So it's hard for physical friends to get their thoughts around the concept that you exist for the joy of the existence. People will say, what's it all about? And we say, there's a triad of intentions of freedom and growth and joy. And they are so equal in their presentation. They are so equal in their offering. You are so free that every thought you think is attractive in nature. You are so free that you can choose bondage. The result of your focused thought brings expansion, because you can't be here without expanding. So the expansion is inevitable. It's an inevitable result of existence. If your goal is joy, then you bring all of these components together in the most productive of ways, because then the laws of the universe are established to draw new desire from you. But then you say, why? Why would it exist? And it's not satisfying enough. We get it. We're reaching for a better answer. It's not satisfying enough to say, well, everything has been orchestrated in order to put you in this poignant moment where you'll ask for yet more. Because then you, sort of like the first conversation that we had today, you want to go all the way back to the beginning and figure out, where were we going when we first started? And we say, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the first thoughts were. Where we all are now is that every exposure to every experience causes an individual asking, which law of attraction actualizes around. And the very good news is that because of the eternal nature of who we all are, when you out here on the leading edge ask for an improvement, Source only focuses upon the improvement that you're asking for. Source never focuses upon the contrasting details of chaos or struggle that caused you to ask. So Source, in its disciplined nature, only focuses forward on the improvement that you're asking for. And then, after you croak or while you're still living, line up with that improved thought, then you get the exalted experience of that motion forward. So we're prepared to say to you, because of the power and purity of this question, that all of this exists because of the exhilarating experience or moment in time of making that movement from where you are to the next place. You say in physical terms, the joy is in the journey. Why would someone go to all of the trouble to load everything into the car and drive all the way to an airport and fly high to a mountain where they can ski down a slope? Seems like a lot of effort for that thrilling moment of skiing. Why do you seek those moments in time where you feel the exhilaration of it? Why would you set yourself up for contrast and for birthing a new idea if it were not because then moving toward the new idea there would be the thrill of that ride? Jerry and Esther went whitewater rafting summer before last, and it was such a wonderful day. And they were almost all day on the river. And at no point did they say to the river guide, "Where are we going to come out?" And he would say, "Oh, many miles downstream." They didn't say, "Well, we'd like to just put our river raft back on the bus and drive it down. It'll be faster. And then we'll just put it in the water a few hundred yards from where we're going to take it out because we like instant manifestation. We want this adventure to just be done." Because they didn't go on the river because they wanted to get it done. They went on the river because they wanted to be on the river. They wanted the exhilaration of it. They wanted the experience of it. They wanted the spray in their face. They wanted the water in their boat. They wanted the energy to pour through them. They wanted the fun with their friends. They wanted to see this canyon in a way that they had not seen it before. They wanted to feel the prowess of their physical apparatus. They wanted the camaraderie that would take place in the boat. They wanted the journey. They wanted the ride on the river. And that's why it all exists. We all continue to enjoy the ride on the river. But outside the vortex, like so many humans are, it doesn't make sense. Wait, I was in non-physical where it's pure positive energy and everything was going well, and then I decided to come here where there's struggle and wars and violence and cancer. Why would I do that? And we say, because in all of that you ask for more, and when you ask for more, source lines it up, and the next generation will benefit by the asking of the last. But you never said, not one of you said, "I'll go forth and sacrifice myself into the contrast in order to give birth to stuff that I'll never allow myself to live." Not one of you said that. Every one of you said, "I'll give birth to expansion that at some point I will realize, and I will take that ride of realizing the expansion that I've taken." And you hear it a lot that the joy is in the journey. This is just the advanced version of the joy being in the journey. In other words, if you don't live enough life to pose a question, then you'll never find the thrill of the answer. And there is thrill in answer. If you're not willing to expose yourself to the potential of a problem, then you'll never feel the exaltation of a solution, you see. Just kind of get it. We watched Jerry and Esther with their bus and the one before and the one before and the one before and the one before. In other words, all of this exploration with all of these moving parts. And the stories, if you've been listening to us for a while, you've heard many of them. As something happens that is out of the ordinary and they are stymied, they don't know even how to begin to fix it. And then they find a way.